There we go. All right. We've had some computer difficulty, but we are here. Welcome to tonight's airing. This is what, week 9?
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
Coach Jay's Gridiron BBQ and North Texas Football Podcast. Normally I'd say Coach Rudy Hawkins is here, but Rudy's got a birthday tonight, and happy birthday, Rudy. Went out with his mom and his wife and kids for a birthday celebration. So Brad Blassingame is our guest host. And if you don't know this guy, this is Lawerence Johnson, coach of the Hershey Huskies. Coming off a big win, district win. They got the Sweetwater Mustangs coming up. No, I'm sorry, Steiner Tigers. West Texas football, nonetheless. Tonight's episode brought to you by the Red Barn Butcher Shop, right over there off Kell, and kind of in that Planet Fitness parking lot. You need, boy, if you want quality meat, go to Red Barn. I highly recommend it. Great place. Tell them Frank Johnson sent you. I normally say tell them Rudy Hawkins sent you, but Rudy's not here, so he can't do it. Hey, last time I skipped work to go on a birthday party, I got into serious trouble the next day at college. So
I can imagine.
I hope Rudy's behaving himself.
Smart decision, man.
Smart decision.
Listen to mama.
Talk a little barbecue at the beginning of the show. Tonight, I sold quesadillas here in Holiday today, and that's what the guys are eating. But I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about a great college football Saturday afternoon treat, boudin. You guys ever had boudin?
Absolutely.
It's basically Cajun sausage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You just light your little fire and put that boudin on and heat up a tortilla. And, I like it with mustard or hot sauce or just about anything. But, boy, it's good, tastes good. And if it tastes good, it's got to be healthy. It's good for you.
It's got to be.
So, boudin, I highly recommend it. I started to make it today. And be honest, after I sold barbecue yesterday in town and quesadillas today, I had to have my afternoon nap. Miss Tammy's out of town, so it seemed like I got on the couch and turned on an episode of Cheers and laid down and took a nap and set an alarm, and that's a pretty damn good day.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Frank, you're talking about boudin. My mom lives out in East Texas, out in Marshall, right there next to Louisiana. I never had boudin until she moved out there. And if you never had East Texas, Louisiana, straight boudin, it's a whole new ball game. It is good stuff.
I love boudin, and I highly recommend it. And it's a great tailgate food.
Sure, yeah.
It's
it ranks up there with Earl's Campbell's and hot links, and it's definitely tailgate material for sure.
Everybody loves a good.
It's hard to beat.
Sausage and a tortilla. So go out and get you some boudin. I don't know who's playing who's this weekend. Boy, college football's had some good games the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
You guys probably working on Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Just a little.
Yes, sir.
I have a little more freedom in my day, so
it's on in the office, man, in the background.
Yeah.
While we work. So.
I'm on the recliner, and as opposed to when I was coaching, I can actually stay awake. I used to come home on Saturday afternoon. I'd watch one. I'd fall asleep in the first half of one game and wake up in the second half of another game, and acted like I knew what was going on. So now I get to watch the whole game.
Yeah.
It's a lot better.
Most of them I got to watch on my little 5-inch screen here.
Yeah.
The kids, you're at a ball field somewhere all day, every day. So.
Yeah. Mine have flown. They're out. I miss them, but I get to watch football for a change. So, Coach Johnson, tell us about this guy. He's got a great last name for a football coach.
Second to you, man. I'm in the presence of
coming off
High Mighty Johnson.
A huge win. You want to talk just briefly about y'all's past game and what you got coming up?
Man, I can talk all day long about the Huskies, man. They fought, man. They battled adversity. They were resilient. We played a complimentary game. All three phases were components of the win. And it just shout out to the coaches as well. My coordinators did a good job. Offensively, we managed the clock better than we have in any other game this year. With the 2 turnovers, we still won the time of possession. Defensively, we were swarming to the ball. We caused the turnover. We put a very good quarterback, D1 material quarterback under pressure, and we tried to speed his clock up. And both teams battled, man, and we showed some signs of overcoming adversity because we've been in adversity this year, and I think that helped us, man. And we apologize for the no points in the second half, but that's just 2 good teams going at it, man.
Well, I always call that creating your own luck.
Well, we need it this time of year, man. It's district.
You go out. I've got some reverb going. I don't know why. When you go out and cause fumbles, create takeaways, well, you are lucky to win that game. Well, yes, but we made us lucky.
Mm-hmm.
And I always talk about it. You got to create your own luck. And sounded like y'all did it. I tried desperately to get to the second half of that game, and must have been a defensive battle because it was over like that. But if you win the time of possession,
we ran the ball. Both teams were running the table.
Was that part of like you said, it's a tale of 2 halves, and we're lining up the scoreboard the first half, and then the second half is a complete switch. How much of that was halftime adjustments to figuring out what each other was doing to each other, or?
Man, it was a combination of both. I mean, their quarterback, he scores 4 touchdowns in the first half, and we're able to use that momentum that they had, and we switched it to benefit us. Halftime, you talk to the guys, like we do a few things on the board, but ultimately it was just about executing the call.
Right.
Our guys wanted to go in the locker room and, hey, man, just lock in, sit down in the lockers. Like, no, coach, we're going to go in there and cut the lights off. Because not going in at halftime and preparing and visualizing and getting ready to play a complete football game.
Right.
It hadn't worked for us this year. Just think back to springtime, had the long layover, and we came out flat.
Yeah.
And testament to our guys that, coach, we got it, man. We're going there, we're going to lock in, we cut the lights off. And then coaches got to work outside, and then we pulled our guys in. Not a lot of adjustments made. I mean, other than that, our game plan going in was to try to keep those dudes in front of us.
Right.
Because I've seen teams, all the film we scouted, guys are playing press man on stud receiver. Like, man, no, keep them in front of you.
Them, but don't break.
Let our D line take care of business and allow us to play that cushion coverage in the back end and keep everything in front of us.
Come up and make tackles.
So they were going to sustain drives. I mean, they're going to go on drives. We had to bend but not break.
Sure.
And
that,
our offense did the same thing.
That is, and this is true at a lot of levels, not 100%, but most teams, if you make them drop the ball 80 yards, don't give up, big chunk plays. You make them go 80 yards. They have a hard time scoring. There are some exceptions to the rule.
Playbook shrinks a little bit, man.
Yeah,
once you get to the zone,
shrinks. There's so many times you can shoot yourself in the foot and get a holding. One holding call can change that to.
We had plenty of penalties.
As an old defensive coordinator, it was always amazing to me how many offensive coordinators get impatient. I want to score now. I'm going to take a shot, and if you can get them in that position and then get them behind the sticks and make them, boy, it made all the difference in the world.
Well, Frank, we talked, hey, man, go on drives, but a punt is a successful drive for us as long as we flip the field.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not a turnover's bad, but a punt is good.
Oh,
punt is good.
In our little pregame, we were talking about Gunner, what makes them good. Well, one of the things that they're always great at is you always have a long field against them. They even when you hold them, they've made 1 or 2 first downs, and their punter is always good enough that he's going to make you go 80, 90 yards.
That's the third phase, man. That some teams don't practice enough.
I
you
really
have to
believe
have appreciation for special teams.
Yep.
Win or lose it for you, man.
Yeah. In
No
a hurry.
about it.
You let somebody have a big kickoff return. You go down and score and let them kick off, and you let them run, even if they just get to the 50, all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
that momentum that you had is gone.
Yep.
And but congrats on the big win.
Oh, yeah.
That
Thank you.
1-0 in district. Is that right? Do I have?
1-0, man. So
That's the first district
looking
win.
to be 1-0 again this week, man.
So this week you got the Snyder Tigers.
We got a West Woods bunch, man.
You are headed up to Snyder out to West Texas.
We are, man. We got district got us 2 charters. We're going.
It's a good little drive.
Half a day of
It's a good
school.
little drive.
And it's a business trip, man.
Yeah,
I know a couple of people here that made that trip last year.
that's right.
You're
right.
just about 15 miles farther.
Well, we made it last year. JV went up there last year. We went to Sweetwater, and this year we get to go to Sweetwater's home. That's our last home game at Hershey.
We bought drug rugs or sirapes.
yeah.
At the gas station.
Great little convenience store there in Haskell.
They do got.
They had them on sale, $20. It's hard to beat a good drug rug sirapa for $20.
Yeah. I wanted a nice black one, but they didn't have my size, so I went with a blue. It brings out my eyes.
Yeah.
So
when you're at the Valero in Haskell, you can't be real picky about it.
no, the selection is not.
It's not like they got more stock in the back.
You're getting what the.
Do you have any more in the back? We don't have a back.
We don't have a back.
We know what's on the shelf, man.
Here.
Going up there, Snyder 3-5 on the season, 0-2. Got beat by Holiday a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, blanked them. Yeah, 31-0.
We're a little familiar, but Coach Wood does a good job. He spreads. I'm assuming he still spreads out the ball.
He does. He definitely does. For sure.
He knows what he's doing. His dad was a pretty good one. So
coached against his dad and him in Muleshoe when I was in Alpine, and then when I was the head coach in Slayton, me and Wes went against each other.
His dad always wanted to play me,
yeah.
and I didn't want to drive from Colorado City to Muleshoe, Texas.
Muleshoe, yeah. We did it in Alpine, man. That was a long haul.
Yeah,
It's
a long ways from anywhere.
Alpine anywhere.
I was in
Walmart,
district.
man.
I was in
5
district
miles
with
to
the
Fort Stockton
Alpine.
one way.
Yeah.
Hey, great scenery, man.
Oh,
Beer
Alpine's
become
a
your
beautiful.
neighbors.
Alpine's a beautiful
Oh, yeah.
place, but Lord have mercy.
Well, your coaches get to drive quite a bit and not get paid for it. So
We left Alpine, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and I think we got back to Colorado City at 4 a.m. I was worn out.
Oh yeah.
And we, all our fans were on the same side. It was an interesting trip. But I think they changed stadiums since then.
Well, Alpine's they got their own stadium, nice turf. Soros used to use it when I was there, 2014 through 2017. They very nice facilities, great background, especially when that fog's coming off the mountains. It's right there.
Boy, that's pretty through
It's
there.
right there south.
It is
field,
pretty.
Man. It's beautiful.
It is
Especially, and it snows there. And that white stuff's on the ground, guys. I mean, we got out there and got in it. So definitely, and shout out to the Bucks.
It really interesting weather pattern if you're a weather guy. Marfa, which is right in the neighborhood.
Oh yeah, Marfa Lights.
Boy, in the wintertime, that place gets cold. It's amazing how much colder Marfa is than the rest of the world.
Yeah, mountains are further away.
You get all that.
Further away from the land.
So, beautiful scenery. There's a couple places I always liked to hang out when I was going to graduate school there.
Mm-hmm.
That was a long time ago.
He's on the hill changing the rocks around.
No. I was going to graduate school, and I'd stay. They'd let me stay in the dorm I'd go on the weekends, and they'd let me stay in the dorm for $1 a night. And they put me in that unair conditioned dorm. That sucker was like 180 degrees. I'd take an ice chest and fill it full of ice and stick a fan right by it at the foot of my bed and blow ice water on me. So I'd try to get some sleep.
$1 a night.
$1 a night.
I beat that.
I asked my wife about staying, and we didn't have any money then. And she said, "Nah, you get $1 a night." Anyway, that's a long time ago. I had hair, I think I had one child and no belly. So 3 kids later and a lot of good barbecue, things have changed.
Oh yeah, empty nest now, right?
Empty nest.
Yeah.
Well, I know I'm sure you're going to pull for the Hershey Huskies. I think y'all got this one. If you don't get bust lag, I think you got this game.
Man, Frank, one thing we talked about, just starting Monday meeting scout report, was the cancer of complacency, man.
Sure.
You know, this could be a so-called trap game. If we can't overlook anybody, man. We're even when you feel like you're playing at a high level, can't overlook anybody, man.
No,
So
it
can't be complacent.
You know, even in the NFL or college football, you'll see somebody that you think is really good, and all of a sudden they get knocked off by somebody that's really bad.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Snyder too is they're one of those teams that can sneak up. They got
a big play team.
They got a quarterback that can scramble and can chunk it 50, 60 yards, and they got a couple athletes that can go get it. So it's not one that
No
like
doubt.
you said, you can't. It's not just a night off. You still gotta
they're
be there and be ready to
toss
compete.
The ball, man. They got skilled guys that can. And I've told our guys this, and we've watched it on film. They got guys that can make you miss in space.
Well,
Yep.
If you don't tackle well, they're gonna bust.
Yep. And with high school kids,
Joe breaks, quicks.
Snyder sitting at 0-2 in district.
So we're prepared for anything.
This is pretty much a
fake punts.
Yeah.
I've got to win.
Yeah.
If we're gonna make the playoffs, I got to win.
Yeah, us and Greenwood or Sweetwater, who they got left on the schedule with an open week.
You're right.
They
onside kicks, fakes.
Yeah, I mean everything's on
I'm
the table to try to.
Yeah, man.
You better be
Because
ready.
why not?
Try to get that swing. Sure.
Well,
yeah.
any other
We know
thing,
it's like to be an underdog.
if you're going through a hard season, you're doing your best as a coach to make those kids want to play hard. So
Right.
put on a few gadget plays
Mm-hmm.
and let them have a little bit of fun and try to keep them going.
Well, that keeps the defense honest as well.
Sure.
Keeps our special teams on high alert of hey, expect this, see the ball all the way off the tee before you retreat. Just reminding them of fundamentals. Yeah. Our discipline is gonna be key in everything.
Well, no turnovers, no stupid penalties. That's smart football.
That's exactly right.
Get you a W. All right, we're gonna talk a little bit about some other people. Start with Ryder. They've got Amarillo Paladuro coming to Wichita Falls.
Yeah.
Amarillo 3-3, 1-1 in district. Ryder 5-2, 2-0 in district.
Ryder's in the driver's seat.
I think Ryder has a dang good chance of getting the district championship.
They're in the driver's seat, man. I played me and Wiley and Coach Tennyson, a coach we just hired. We all played football with Coach Mims up there in Paladuro, and I played against him in high school. I'm from Levelland, man. And Paladuro was always our first game of the season, and then becomes my college teammate up there at Eastern. Right. So obviously bittersweet. I'm pulling for WFISD, man. Even though he's my boy, I still love him. But got to pull for 940.
One of my favorite songs ever is Robert Earl King called Levelland.
Yeah.
Out in Levelland.
Never had much use for me up there in Levelland.
I think it ain't much out there, but it is a part of what made me, man.
Yeah.
I think I'm all right.
Wagon probably lost a wheel.
It makes you wonder why they stopped there, Frank.
Yeah.
I might have lost ambition.
Tumbleweeds or something like that, man. You used to it. This dirt around here is nothing like Levelland.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like West
No,
Texas.
it's a hell of a lot harder to dig in here.
Yeah.
I promise you. Ooh.
Keep the cold weather.
I think Ryder gets the victory over Paladuro.
I think so too, man.
And I haven't seen Paladuro.
Doubleheader.
They're 3-3 on the season.
Absolutely.
Generally, Paladuro has some athletes.
Always. Always.
Coach Parr coached there forever after he left Plainview. And, when I coached in Plainview, they always had some kids that could just scoot.
And they got some big-looking jokers, too. They got good-looking kids. For sure they can fly.
When I was a second-year coach, I think. So this is 1990. We go up to Paladuro on Saturday morning with our JV team, and we're going to play the JV guys on Saturday morning. This is 11 a.m. kickoff. We jump on them. They have about 15 kids on their team, and we're jumping on them. But every so often, I'd look over there and another kid would show up. He'd come out of the locker room. By the second quarter, they were up to about 20. By the third quarter, they were up to about 24. By the fourth quarter, they had like 35 kids out there. They had a whole brand new team. And
They just woke up, I guess.
I think they ended up beating us that day. Our kids were worn out, and their kids, hell, they slept late and
They had different shifts.
they had different
Yeah.
shifts. It was like
They're
a different
fresh, man.
team came out every
Fresh.
quarter.
Shoot, yeah.
That's a long time ago. Decatur at Springtown. Woo! 4-4, 2-1 Decatur.
Yeah.
5-2, 1-0 Springtown. It's a big game for both those guys.
District championships on the line. And they both kicked our tails. Different types of teams. Springtown's more of a power run team. They just out physical. Just
Right.
Decatur spreads it out a little bit more, and they got a slasher in the backfield with old Nate Palmer, man. And it's gonna be whose defenses show up, man, and opposes their will.
Well, I don't know this, but I'm gonna go Decatur's strength of schedule. Decatur, I think their record is deceiving. 4-4. I think it a lot of
You
has
have to
do
look at who
with,
they play.
Who they play.
Stephenville Ryder, you know.
And I know the coach at Springtown. He puts together a great product every year. But I'm gonna pick Decatur. I could be wrong. Hey, if you're a Springtown fan, I bet you hope I am. So this is an interesting game. This is really a big game, even despite the record. Burke Burnett at Old High.
Yeah.
2-5. Burke Burnett 0-1 in district, needing to get a win.
Mm-hmm.
Old High 2-6, 1-1 in district.
That district record matters more.
Yeah, the district
It
record.
does.
You
Yeah.
know, but Old High's lost a couple on the road. Hereford was, all
Turned
one
out to be a
possession
good
game.
team.
It did, and they could have tanked, they could have folded, man, but kept fighting, kept swinging. I think Old High gets this one, 2 possessions.
I think Old High gets it myself, but Burke Burnett's playing. They're still playing. So
They are, and Burt Burnett plays that faster game. They're going to spread you out, and they're going to do that. But I think Old Eye has the athletes to.
That benefits
match
Old High
them.
them spreading out because
Right.
they running three down.
Right, I know
so-
Owl Park is able to play them close
Mhm.
Old High because they they do the power run game
Yep.
stuff, and so I think Old High's built more to like Coach
Play the
Jenkins
spread.
said to
You got
play
more-
the
you
play
got
the
more
spread,
speed on the
and I
field.
think that actually benefits.
I agree with you. Old High probably moving 2-1. Burke Burnett needs a win desperately. So it's the same thing we're talking kind of about Snyder.
Yeah,
Anything
expect
goes this
anything.
week, you bet.
expect anything.
Ram 7-1, 1-1. Coming off a loss, playing the Sweetwater Mustang 5-2, 1-0. Sweetwater started off the year great and went through a couple game losing streak.
They did, man. They were hot 3-0, I believe.
I don't know this 100%. A friend of mine that works there told me they had some injuries. Don't know if they've got those kids back.
This time of year, it's injuries or grades.
Oh, yeah.
It is. So, and now Greenwood just lost a tough one, man. They were up on Sweetwater. Sweetwater came back and got them last week. And Graham's 1-1 district, like you said. They put it on Snyder last week.
They're at Mustang Bowl in Sweetwater.
Historical place,
but
man.
Yeah.
I
Home
know-
of Willie Amos.
and
Austin
Sammy
Stadium.
Ball.
Yeah, Sammy Ball. You said it earlier.
Austin Stadium definitely gives you a home field advantage.
I tell you what, if you play for Sweetwater, you got to be in shape just to get up and down the damn stairs. They're tough.
Stairs in that ramp, man. I'm with them cleats on.
Yeah.
You better hold on to your boy.
But it is a neat stadium.
Yeah.
Well, Graham, I guarantee they're focused this week. I bet they have
Sure,
some great
yeah.
workouts.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Graham on the road, but I could see it being a good ball game. Coach Lucas,
Mm-hmm.
Russell knows what he's doing.
They may try to slow the pace down just like we did because Graham's a high-tempo team,
Yeah.
man. They get to the ball, they're snapping the ball 5-10 seconds, and we've got to have any success against those guys. You got to do your best to slow their tempo down and dictate the pace the best you can.
Right.
And time of possession on offense will be key for Coach Lucas.
Well, Coach Lucas got a few athletes, and
That's
Like
the
I
water,
said,
man.
he's
That's
been
the
a-
water.
he's been in the state title game before. He's won a lot of football games. He's
Yep.
an old friend of mine, so
You never know after a close loss like that which way kids could go.
No, and
Preparation and
Right,
who
and
makes the
sometimes
least
it
amount of mistakes.
refocuses them, and you know they get right back at it. And sometimes it's a little tougher for them.
yeah, and again,
Weather the
grades and
adversity, man.
injuries,
Grades, sure.
grades and injuries make a heck of a difference. Moving on, we've already talked about Hershey Snyder, Breckenridge Jim Ned. I know most of them aren't in our listening area, but district game 3-4 Breckenridge 0-2. I started the year off great and have slipped lately. Against Jim Ned 5-2, 1-1. Injuries have caught up to them, but they're still winning. They lost their first district ball game, but they won their last one.
Yeah, I know Jim Ned, after the way they played us, had their quarterback go down, which is a huge loss for them because that kid really ran the offense. I mean, it went through him, and losing him changes. Even though they're a power run team, it changes some of the threats that you got to look at and makes them a little more.
Right. Took one away.
Yeah.
And without knowing the kid or any much about Jim Ned, to me, you always look at what leader went down.
Sure.
If you lose a great leader, they're hard to replace.
And the role changes. Now you go from player to player on the field, helping coach, to just coach on the sideline.
Yeah.
And it definitely changes, but
I'm still going to pick
part of the game.
The Indians over the Buckaroos. They're at Jim Ned, and I feel like, boy, Breckenridge needs a win. 0-2, they got to win. Their season's pretty much over. They got to win. So,
got to do it.
But I'm going to pick the Indians. I think they can take it. Now, here's another good game. Owl Park 3-4. Record's not great, but 2-0 in district.
I said the district record is
that's the important one against the Vernon Lions. 6-1, but 1-1 in district.
It's gonna be a close ball game, man.
It's gonna be
two teams that want to run the tater. Man.
It's such a rivalry.
Huge rivalry.
This goes back Tommy Watkins, Leo Britton, back to the 70s. And, I was fortunate growing up at Owl Park, and in a game that I actually played in, I never lost a tournament. But they were all 3-0, 6-7.
Right.
They were always really close. 6-0. 7th grade year, 6-0. Frank Johnson scored a touchdown.
Good job, big dog.
Last name. Quarterback pitched the ball on the ground in the end zone. I fell on it. Whoo! I'm such a great player, but ultimately their quarterback screwed up. But it was always
it
was always a hard hitting, physical ball game.
And I wouldn't expect that to be any different this year. Like Coach Johnson said, man, each team's gonna try to establish the run game, and so it could be one of those, that ends up like you said, 6-3 or whatever,
Well, ball game.
Yeah. And honestly, if you look at the playoff predictions, and who knows where these teams are going to end up, but you don't want to finish 4th place in that district. Catch Brock in the first round. That's not much fun. And Brock's beatable. We saw Gunner do it, but
we can show them how not to beat Brock.
I would just. I don't know who else is in Brock's district, but I would rather play the 2nd place team or the 3rd place team or the 4th place team than the 1st place team.
Exactly.
So
matchups are key this time.
Yeah,
see teams. I've seen teams tank, man.
Sure.
Every game counts right now, and honestly, every point counts. You got to look at the positive, and negative points in case there's a tiebreaker. So. At Vernon, I hate to. Well, I hate to call this guy. I hate to call it.
You got
I think Vernon's got the advantage this week, but just because Owl Park, I don't get my letter jacket. I got to pull for the Hawks. So
Well, just bounce it out, Frankie. I think I'll take the Lions.
There you go.
I'll take the Lions. We won't leave anybody out here.
Coach, you got a pick?
Man, I don't know enough about either one of them, man. I keep up with scores through that Dave Campbell's app. Just pulling for a good game.
Yeah, it'll be a good game.
I'm happy Vernon's back in the winning column. Iowa Park's been a successful program for a long time. Had some coaching changes, but that culture of winning is still there. And Vernon's always had it, man. You hear about Vernon in West Texas.
Oh yeah.
So one of my kids' dads, Willie Cherry, he's a Vernon guy, man.
Oh yeah.
You just hear all the stories, from back in the day. But hard to pick here. I played against both of them. We compete against both of them in the summer, 7-on-7. Then we did lineman challenges at Iowa Park.
Yeah.
One's got good skill guys. The other one's got big, tough, strong linemen.
Yeah.
So
they'll grind it out.
It's gonna be one in the trenches, though. I can tell you that.
Just like you said, it'll be close.
Yeah. I really don't know how they are anymore. But when I was growing up, Vernon, you go run track and they're about to beat you.
Well, they won state last year.
Yeah.
State track meet.
They just always seems like they've got a couple of cats.
Oh yeah.
And if you're a lion, I guess you've got a couple of cats. But they can go. They can go. Clyde, 7-0, 2-0 in district at Bowie, 1-6, 0-2. Bowie's got to win.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't gonna be this week.
No, Clyde is. I've seen them on film. Against some of our district opponents, and it wasn't pretty.
I wasn't expecting Clyde to be this good, but apparently they are. So
they got a good squad over there, and a good friend Tyler Price at Bowie. I think he's doing a great job over there trying to get them turned around.
First year, for
sure. To come up against a team like Clyde,
his schedule
it'll
has
be a
been
tall
easy.
order. It has not been easy.
But you don't want that pre-district easy.
Sure.
You want to face early adversity.
Who the heck knew Clyde was going to be this good?
Yeah, that's true.
And Clyde was
the people in
average last year.
Yeah, they have a locker room.
Yeah, their coaches probably thought that we got a chance to be good, and they're making it happen. Mm-hmm. So, all right, 5-2 Merkel Badgers, 1-1 in district, going to Jacksboro Tigers, 7-0, 2-0 in district.
Jacksboro's tough, man.
Jacksboro has a lot of firepower, but they played some close games this year, Frank.
Yeah, almost every game they've had to come from behind to win. It's like they don't start fast.
Right.
I guess that always drove me crazy.
Yeah, we've been a part of a few of those teams.
And it just irritates you to no end.
You're a second half team. It drives coaches nuts, man. Play 4 quarters of football, 2 halves make the whole.
I don't need to have to chew you out in the first call timeout and chew you out to get you to go.
Some kids need that motivation right there.
Seems like we had that.
Coach, I need you to get pissed off at me so we can.
Just
tell me that before the game, man. We make it happen.
We know
a lot sooner, so we can play 4 quarters.
Yeah,
they're tough, man.
Bowie needs to win, but Merkel needs to win.
Merkel needs to win, and
I thought Merkel would be Eastland, and they almost came back and won, but it was 23-20, and they came up short. 1-1.
They got a team that can sneak up on you.
They're not horrible.
Just got to get in. Find a way to get in.
They need a win.
Yeah, like I said, Jacksboro's got a big game next week against Millsap.
And honestly, I think you can look at this as somewhat of a track game for Jacksboro because they knocked off Comanche last week.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what percentage of healthy Comanche's running back is that's so highly touted. I know he was hurt early, and he may be 100% or he may be 70%, but Jacksboro beat him. And it looked like early in the game they were going to lose. So,
being healthy this late in the season is a blessing.
Yeah.
And then it gets better going on, man. The healthy you keep your kids. They don't like the lack of contact per se throughout the week because it gets boring to them.
Right.
But from a coach's perspective, we got to keep our guys healthy. We got to get you to Friday.
That's how things have changed. When I was in high school, and I didn't do any of this while I was a head coach, but we beat the hell out of each other 3 days a week. Monday was probably the lightest day of the week. It was more of a learning day. But Tuesday we scrimmaged the JV. It was full contact, knock each other out.
Yeah.
Of course, we had no concussion back then. It was just your
See stars sit out a couple
they
plays.
spray something on. No, it wasn't even a
Water.
couple play. They spray something on your jersey and they stick it over your face and you're gonna smell this and you were fine. But you beat the hell out of each other on Tuesday. It was a full contact scrimmage, and if the JV scored against the varsity was going to get punished. It was a bad deal. It was dang near child abuse. If the varsity scored against the JV, you punished the JV. It was dang near child abuse. It was, it was mean, brutal stuff. Of course, back then, coaches all had been to Vietnam, so they weren't, or Korea, and their idea of nice,
Oh, yeah.
So, but
Discipline.
Wednesday was a full contact day back then. On Thursday, we wear our helmets and shorts. That was our one day a week. I never believed in it. As a head coach, I always felt stupid to get somebody hurt on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right.
Knocking
Yeah.
it. So, anyway, that was a long time ago. Some of the old people that listen can remember it, and some of the young people don't believe me. So,
well, you got to find what works best for your kiddos, man. That's it.
Yeah.
You still want the intensity high, but you want to limit some contact, especially you want good on good.
Well,
but you want to contain it.
If you know your dogs will bite, you don't turn them loose in practice. Let them bite on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And that was always my deal. If we're gonna if I know we're physical, I know we're a tackle, then we're gonna limit it during the week. If the few years that I had that we didn't do it, we probably hit more, we tackled more, just trying to build that. So
definitely.
But Jacksboro Tiger, Millsap, Eastland, 4-2. Millsap 2-0 in district. Surprising, they had a big win last week at Eastland, 2-5 on the season. 1-1 in district, but their two wins have come against Jim Ned.
It's good teams,
and both teams had winning records. So this is this tough. It's a tough call. Early in the year, I'd have done a flip them. Right now, you got to lean toward Millsap, but since I've got a son on the Eastland staff, come on Mavericks. So,
well,
you know, Jake.
Yeah. I love Jake, but I think Millsap, they've always been a physical team. Back when they were in our district, they were a physical team. Learning from Coach Johnson. That was another Coach Johnson that was over there.
Yeah, his name's Jake too.
Yeah, and so I think Eastland will play them in a tough one, but I think at the end Millsap's able to overpower.
They're at Millsap or at Eastland. And you got, if it's a hot night, you got to contend with a locker room.
You get the barn.
You get a barn that I don't remember it having air conditioning. I always felt like
keep the doors open.
I always felt like it was in the movie Cool Hand Luke when he got put in the hot box. I'm pretty sure they could have filmed it right there in Eastland, Texas. In that district lot, it was hot.
Yeah, I'm not even sure we went in there.
Another opponent. That's another opponent right there, man.
You get them dressed and get them outside just to get some air because it was tough.
Position meetings outside.
And, Eastland would dress at their school because they wouldn't even go in theirs. They had a place at halftime, but I was asking about it. I said, no, we're not going in there. It's too hot. Such is life. All right. Henrietta, 4-3, 1-1 at Callisburg, 4-3, 1-1. Huge game.
It's right up there. I mean, I don't know if you want to say a must win, but it's if you want to stay contending for the district championship with the amount of weeks that we have left, in each one loss,
Henrietta wants to win.
It's as close to a must-win game as you can get.
They want to win, and then they're going to become Callisburg Wildcat fans.
Right. Yeah, and it's a battle of two very similar teams as far as the style that they play and the physicality. that each team brings, that's where it's going to be a good, fun game to watch.
Yeah, both of them. Probably that may be. Well, it's at Callisburg. That's a little bit out of our viewing area, but might be one of the better games in the area this week.
Yeah.
Henrietta is going to want to win, and then they're going to be Wildcat fans after that because they want Callisburg to beat Holiday.
Henrietta runs the 3-high safety look, which you may see.
Oh yeah,
a lot of that we don't necessarily see a whole lot at our level.
Graham did quite a bit of it.
I know Old High's done some of that stuff. Yeah, the Tampa 2, and our level we don't see a whole lot of it, and so it's harder for the kids to prepare against.
You almost have to install it.
Yeah.
To teach your kids and also practice against it.
Yeah.
So, get a lot of good trap coverage in that, some trap spot stuff with that good Tampa team.
Yeah, and if you get that third middle safety, middle high safety, if he's a GoDaddy that can run down the hill and fill some alleys, man,
that's where you put it. Pick some
it's
balls
hard,
off.
It's hard to go against.
Good alley fit. Just
Henrietta has some athletes.
Intentions.
Me, games come down to matchups, and I don't know who matches up better in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's two very even teams in my opinion. I remember the other day that it's Coach Gill's last season. So.
Well, I'm pretty sure Coach Gill coached Jesus. When you hear that,
it again
he
next
taught
year.
Moses how to run the trap.
Yeah, they've run that place since Moses was on earth. I'm pretty sure Eddie coached them. Boy, he's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
He's learned more than.
And I hear that back in the day, you made Eddie mad, you were going to lose. So, boy, it's a toss-up. I don't know who's going to win. I'm probably pulling for Henrietta just because they played the Eagles so well.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. S&S at the Holiday, 0-7, 0-2. S&S 6-1, 2-0. I don't know why I got 1-1 down, but 2-1 Holiday. I got to pick the Eagles. I have no doubt the Eagles will come home victorious.
Yeah,
since they're already here.
I think that's the easiest choice on.
Yeah.
On the chart.
Eagles
look good, man. Watching them against Snyder, they look good.
Flashing lights. If you got one of those things, conditions that make you go into convulsion, you may not want to go to that game because they'll be flashing. I think the Eagles are about to score a lot of points.
I won't say much about it, but I'm rooting for Frank.
Yeah. Since
Hero.
you work for them, I think you got to pull for the hero.
Yeah,
S&S, you are playing All-Star team. I mean, what is it? Sadler and
Southmaid.
Sadler
and Southmaid. Yeah, it's an all-star team.
It's an all-star team. So.
Well, I know one thing. Them dudes lay the wood. I'll tell you right. Them they fly. The swarm. Them dudes bring it on defense.
City View, 4-4, 1-1 in district against Valley View, 2-5, 1-1 in district. Valley View, of course, beat S&S last week. Beat them pretty handily.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with City View. I don't think Valley View can outrun them.
Yeah, I don't think Valley View has the weapons to catch.
No, City View got skilled guys
athletes.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Holly, 5-1, 5-2, 3-0 in district. At the Albany Cubs, 2-4, 0-3. I want Albany to win. I just don't think they can.
Frank.
Well, that's right. You
and me
are a
both,
Cub.
Frank. Let's go Cubbies.
Let's go Cubbies.
Let's go
Coming off
Cubbies.
getting the ring, man.
0-3. They got to win. They're kind of at that point. They got to start winning.
They got to win.
Yeah, throw the kitchen
love the
sink
Cubbies.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's happening this week, Frank.
No, I don't either.
Better roll the dice, man.
Bearcat,
Better roll it.
a few years ago, I would have said Albany has a chance, but right now the Bearcats are playing football.
They are playing some football.
You get that ring momentum, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
defending state
got
champion.
it. They got it.
They would like to go back. Nocona Indians 6-0, 2-0 in district against the Tioga. I don't even know their last night what they are.
That's Zach Birdwell's squad. I mean, he was
5
at
and 2,
Estacada
2-0.
OC last year.
Yeah, boy, I honestly think Tioga could be a bird's nest on the ground. Eventually, those people that move to Gunner Gunner's gonna get so big they're gonna move to Tioga.
Yeah, it'll be next. It'll be next.
But I don't think it's gonna be today. I think they're at Tioga. I think the Indians will be on the warpath. Don't be offended.
Mm-hmm.
But Nokona's pretty daggum good.
Yeah, I got to be with you, Frank. It's Nokona's got it rolling right now, and they've been waiting on this for a long time to get it back, back established to where they've been traditionally, and they're playing some good ball this year.
The only thing I'd be worried about if I was Nocona, and Coach already said it, is complacency.
Sure. Yep.
We're
Bitter,
good.
Bitter of evil, man.
Oh yeah. And you know what?
Teenage kids are asking them to continue to stay humble. Some of them can handle it. Some of them it's tough.
I always talk about
testosterone.
How hard it is to have an undefeated season.
Yeah.
And you're rolling along, and you take somebody, and Tioga is a great example. I don't know much about them, but they've got a good record.
Right.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we'll beat those guys. We'll show up. We'll beat them. And,
just existing. Yeah.
You got to watch out for the Tiogas of the world that are 2-0 in district, and that number is what's important. So,
no doubt.
2-0.
First year head coach,
and it very possibly could be for the district title.
Yeah.
So
first year head coach. I'm gonna go for Tioga. Oh, Birdwell, man.
Tioga upset.
I'm gonna go for him, man.
You're gonna go with Tioga.
I had a good time getting to know him and that Coronado staff because DJ Man's my boy, and he was excited to get that young dude, and he was a 5A D2 coordinator.
Love it, Coronado.
Love it, Coronado.
So he worked
for
Seth?
The last couple of years. No, after Seth. When Seth left to Anna and DJ Man got the job.
Okay.
DJ's an alumni of Coronado. He got old Birdwell down there, man. Them dudes, they're doing well, man.
I stood taught there back in the 80s.
Oh yeah, same building.
Same building.
Not as old as our schools, but
right across from Dollar General or Dollar Western World.
They got Dollar General in that parking lot now.
I'm sure they do.
For a while, brother.
Yeah,
right off 34th.
They got Dollar General in Venus. I mean, they're everywhere. Hell, we got Dollar General here in Holiday.
Big time.
We
just
are
opened,
big time.
Just opened a week or two ago.
We're pretty. My wife is extremely excited.
Oh, I can imagine.
They got driving in the falls, man.
Having the Dollar General down the road.
We can go. Haskell 3-4. All right, bad record, but
here's the
3-1 in district. Boy, he's got those Indians rolling a little bit. Now, bad news there. At 6-1 Seymour Panthers, 3-0 in district. They're pretty daggone good. The Panthers are on the prowl.
There's one thing you know about Seymour and playing, having coached against Coach Lloyd and knowing him for a long time, his teams are going to be physical. They're going to be hard-nosed, and they're going to be tough. And I think having his son there, who's a great athlete, controlling that offense, gives them a huge advantage against anybody that they play.
Well, I have no doubt Mitchell will have his troops ready at Haskell, but I don't think they have the weapons that Coach Lloyd has.
Right.
And Coach Lloyd, we talk about it every week. He's a towel-waving dude. He's got some intensity. It doesn't matter if it's at a 7th grade B game or a varsity football game. That sucker acts the same. If he's watching a basketball game, that guy has intensity going. And
the kids love it.
That's infectious.
They know that he cares and that he's there for them. So.
That guy.
Well, it's genuine.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
it's genuine.
I'm amazed by how much energy he's got. I don't have that kind of energy anymore. hell, I got to take a nap every day.
Got to match your personality.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and where you're at right
you
now.
can't lie to the kids either.
Yeah.
I've never. I
Our
always,
kids read
They'll see
fake.
right through it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
read fake, man. They
You
point it
gotta-
out. They call you on it too.
You got to coach it the way you coach it.
Mhm.
Kids know if you really care.
You got to be
if
you,
don't.
man. Be authentic.
But I do know this as a head coach. If I didn't bring energy out to practice, we were about to have a bad practice.
Mhm.
So Coach Lloyd, I know he brings energy. So I'm thinking the Panthers going to win. Petrolia Pirates, a good friend, Byron West recovering from a little medical deal.
Lots of prayers going out for Coach West.
Yeah, lots of prayers. He's a good dude. Petrolia's had more injuries than their fair share this season. 1-2 in district, going against the Monday Moguls, 0-8, 0-4 in district.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Coach Langston, they're trying to breathe positivity into a new program.
Yeah.
I called the Monday game last week, and I probably shouldn't say this. And Windthorst
Yeah.
beat them. I mean, there was no question about it. But one thing I was really impressed with on Monday's team, they played hard.
Yep.
They were getting after it. As a former coach, that's something I always look for. At the end of the season, everybody looks at the record. If you had a good record or not, that determines if you had a good season. But I kind of disagreed with them. To me, number one, did your kids play hard? You want to be a good coach. That's the first step. Your kids got to play hard. Number two, did they get better? Now I can't tell you if Monday's gotten better because I didn't see them back in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
But I was really impressed with how hard the Monday Moguls played that game the other night. They never gave up. Things did not go their way, especially early, and that happens against good teams. But I think Petrolia, I think Monday's probably fired up. I don't know what role Coach West has had this week at Petrolia. Who knows? It could be a heck of a ball game at Monday.
At Monday, and I think, looking at Monday's record and their schedule, I think the kids will be fired up. They see this as a game that they can win, and to start the program and put a little energy into it. As far as starting somewhere, right?
Just takes one.
A 1-9 or 2-8 beats the heck out of 0-10.
Oh yeah.
So they're fired up in Monday, Texas.
Yeah, not to take anything away from Petroleum, but like you said, the injury bug's gotten them this year. I think last I heard they were on about their 4th string quarterback.
Yeah.
And but having coached at Petroleum and been in this Petroleum Monday game, it's when you lose 1 or 2 kids at that size of a school, it could be a complete game changer for your whole season. I mean, it can change in a hurry. So
I'm still picking Petrolia. Yeah, that every time I pick Byron to win, they get beat. So Byron probably don't listen to this, Byron.
He may be cussing you right now.
Yeah, he's probably mad, but I think Petrolia's got the edge, and I'm saying that just because they've won a couple of balls.
Sure. Yeah.
They know how to win.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I'll take the Pirates too.
Yeah, I'm going anti. I'm going Coach Langston.
Now,
I worked with him a couple places. I'm gonna go with Langston.
Next game.
Yes, sir.
The Archer County, even though they don't let Holiday play in this, the Archer County Championship. The Windthorst Trojan 5-2, 3-0, who's pretty good, against the Archer City Wildcats 3-3, 1-2 district ball game at Archer. Throw the records out.
Yeah.
He throw district out. This is their game.
It's our
like you said,
lines, man. It's Archer County showdown, man. 11 miles apart.
Yeah, it's something about county lines, brother.
Year after year, it's the trash talk all week. Not just the kids, families,
Oh,
parents,
that ain't gonna be,
grandparents,
Cousins.
kids, cousins. I mean,
Aunts, uncles.
it's a brand new deal.
Times
You
are
know,
shutting
driving
down.
over.
Oh, everybody in the
times
oil
are shutting
down,
field,
ain't they?
they
Yeah,
are. They're placing their wagers.
It'll be a ghost town in Windthorst on
Yeah,
Friday
that's
night,
right.
and it'll be hard to get into Mearns and Archer on Friday night. It's gonna
Cows will be milked early on Friday.
They will be.
I promise you.
Good Friday night experience.
Windthorst is good. They have, of course, both teams have young quarterbacks. I was really impressed with how physical Windthorst was.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give Windthorst a slight nudge, but I could see this being a heck of a ball game. So I said earlier, who did I say? Somebody could be, Henrietta could be the best game in the area. This might be worth the $3 price of the
It
ticket.
might be too. Yeah.
It ought to be a heck of a ball game.
And one you won't be sitting down for.
Oh yeah.
Timeouts maybe.
Oh yeah.
Halftime.
I mean, line the fence all the way around.
Yeah.
It's
Kids will be excited for sure.
Sure.
They'll
There won't
have
be
momentum.
there
all the
won't
way
be
around.
nobody going coyote hunting Friday night, or at least not till after the ball game.
Yeah.
They'll be at the Archer City Wildcat Stadium, whatever it is, you know. It ought to be a good one. Now I just threw this one in because it's another rivalry. Lindsay 4-4, 2-2 at Munster 4-3, 3-0. I think Munster will win, but that's another rivalry.
it's another huge rivalry right next to each other. One town basically bleeds into the other.
Yeah.
And it's Munster's more of the traditional powerhouse, but not to say that Lindsay doesn't have great teams. You know.
No. Lindsay's running that kind of the gunner offense.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know much about their coach, but I'm sure by now, this late in the season, unless they've had a quarterback injury, they've kind of got it going.
Yeah.
So
You know what your bread and butter is by now.
And if you haven't seen the option all year, it makes it a little bit tougher. Munster's schedule, they're 3-0 in district. You know, they played a tough non-district schedule because when you're that good, you can't find nobody.
Nobody playing, man.
Yeah.
So, and he always plays up.
He always plays up. Coach Carney always does a great job of getting those kids ready to play at a different level than most of the opponents that you see at 2A.
Yeah.
Which leads them to be successful.
Yeah. You see the goal, man.
Yeah.
See the goal.
Well,
Preseason needs to be tough.
I'm gonna pick Munster. And,
Same.
well, that's kind of wraps up our area games. You got some 6-man action going on. Forestburg versus Goldberg. I don't know who else. I just know that one. It's Battle of the Birds. But
So Bird's gonna win.
thank you, Coach Johnson, for coming over to Holiday America.
Anytime. Thank you for having
Sitting
me.
at the Cook Shack. I don't even know what score.
Rangers just hit a home run. We're losing right now, but we got a momentum swing.
Got a momentum.
We had
This is a great time of year. It's pretty outside. This week it's not raining. The wind's not blowing 108 miles an hour.
It ain't cold yet.
Maybe people
It ain't
can
cold
hear
yet.
it.
yeah.
No,
Got a few
I'm
90
loving
degrees
it in
here
practice, man.
before the rain kicks in next week.
Yeah.
it's a beautiful night in the
Get the
Cook
buckets out.
Shack.
Oh yeah.
Get the buckets out, receivers, running backs. Get the buckets out.
It's always dry in the Cook Shack, so that's where I'll be. Actually, next week I've got a couple of big cooks coming up. So
You got a game too next Friday.
yeah,
Yeah.
I get to.
Get
Well, you know,
alumni night at Husky
this
Memorial Stadium.
this referee business has been kind of fun. I get to stay a part of the game.
Oh yeah.
I was telling y'all earlier, the thing I enjoy the most as an umpire, I get to listen to more talk from kids that's entertaining. And some of them,
Yeah.
aren't you going to call that hold? Well, if you're not at the point of attack and he doesn't turn your shoulders, I'm not calling it. But, you know, but most of it I love. And
Yeah.
occasionally
Keeps you connected to the game, man.
Occasionally, I have to
Coaches,
move faster than I'm
yeah.
supposed to because old fat men in the secondary are standing 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. Occasionally, I think some of the coaches just call it on purpose. Let's run something right at fat old
We're
man.
gonna run mesh. We're gonna run mesh right. One of y'all get a piece of him.
Yeah.
Tell
Early,
your linebacker to drop.
early in the season, I don't remember who it was. Somebody ran a peak play on me. They ran their defensive back right. They were playing man coverage, and that receiver just. I'm making myself as
great.
skinny as I can, and he. And he was wide
Part of the
open.
field, Frank.
You didn't
Part
throw.
of
You
the
didn't
field.
grab him by his face, man.
No.
You didn't do that.
No.
Okay.
I
Yeah. Didn't think you. You
Thankfully, I haven't got hurt yet, which, the way I bleed anymore, I got thin skin, so but it's kind of fun, but it's part of the game.
You doing basketball too?
No, I'm
He's gonna set up shop outside some of these gyms.
yeah, I might just
You sure you don't want to get
Barbecue.
into some junior high B team games here,
no,
Frank?
That was the easy one, man.
I-
Run the
I-
clock, baby.
Yeah.
I
6,
hate
7
to
minutes,
admit it,
let's
I
go.
wasn't a very good basketball coach. I just wasn't. I would have liked to said I was, but I'm horrible. And the crazy thing is, my genetics. Of course, my dad played football at Iowa Park. My mother came from Gridiron before they moved to Iowa Park, and they won state titles out there. And she loved basketball. Basketball was something I did. And I wasn't very good at it, and never spent any time practicing it. And it definitely showed. I called some basketball in college, and I decided I would never go back into the gym as a referee. So I don't remember how bad I was. I just remember in Lubbock one time the coaches after the game ushered me out of the gym like I was going to get killed. So I'm assuming I did a bad job. If you need some good quality meat, don't forget to go by our friends at Red Barn Butcher Shop. Go see them. Just because I think you're supposed to say this, like, subscribe,
Yeah.
forward, or replenish, or I don't know the fancy word, but we need viewers.
Share it out there.
Share it. That's the word.
Share it, retweet it.
Tell your
Yeah.
mom
on
and them.
social media, Facebook,
We're,
everything.
Rudy and I are planning
views
on
up.
doing this, even though he skipped tonight. Sorry, dog. We're planning on doing this through the state championship games. Try to do it every day. I am going to have to come home as quick on Saturday as I can because I have my son graduating college that day. So on that Saturday, I need to be back at
Yeah, I don't think you
Midwestern.
need to miss that.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
No, don't do that.
So,
Priorities.
but nevertheless, thank y'all for coming. Thanks for listening. I hope you
Yeah.
enjoyed it. If you didn't, don't listen. So, thank you,
Very entertaining.
Coach
for sure.
Blassingame, for coming over.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Quesadillas.
Yeah.
Don't forget to make some boudin this weekend. It'd be great for
Get you some boudin. Red
Saturday
Barn.
game day.
Lots of Saturday, Sunday.
Fire it up.
Fired up.
For sure.
Lots of good games this weekend.
If you need something cooked, holler at me. I'll be happy to. I've been nailing the briskets lately. I know it's like getting a mortgage to buy a brisket, but I've been putting them down the right way. So thank y'all. We will see you next week.